Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, you know, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, you know, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Thank you for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Afidamus Report. I am your host, Afidamus, as you know. Today's topic is going to be something, this is more catered towards Africans, but people that are also looking for what is right, they would also benefit from this. But there is a whole lot of things that are going on in the United States of America that looks attractive to people in Africa, and they just see it as part of entertainment, but these are very, very detrimental and degenerate to any culture. But before I get into that, I want to welcome all of you, the viewers that are here and those of you that are coming in. Welcome to the show, Jamie, and all the people that I didn't mention. Make sure you get the likes up, share the video, and subscribe. As you people know, anyone that's been paying attention to what has been going on in the United States of America, if you are honest with yourself, you know that the place is clouded with evil. Evil is overrunning the United States of America. And as you know, Black people and women are at the forefront of this. There is no shortage of people that you would find amongst the female gender, generally white women, Black women. See, the white women, especially the white liberals, they are even worse than the Black women. The only difference is the Black women are, when the secret is supposed to be kept, but they are just the ones that are loud about it. They're the ones they send out there to be in people's face. They waste no time to be recognized as the people that would take down the system. You have a lot of these women who have daddy issues. They hate men. They hate children. They hate the unborn. Anything they touch turns to dust. When they're in charge of any institution, it all goes to shambles. They kill the dogs, the grass, anything you can think of. They would even destroy the paint on the house. That's how crazy things have become. But now let's talk about, is manhood, does it even exist in the United States anymore? Or it is on its last leg? A country, the greatest country on this side of heaven, is now facing a deep, deep moral crisis. Deep moral crisis. If anyone is not saying this, you are evil yourself, or you are in denial. You are blind to the truth. You don't care about what is going on. But you see, when evil is taking hold, You cannot just stand by and watch it be exported. As far as what you're about to see here, for most part, especially let's say for the black people in America as a group, you can count them out. They are done for. That's for real, and they know it. They are completely done for, because anytime they need a group to stand up for degeneracy, it's like 1-800 rent a black for destruction. They exhibit their hatred for their own homeland. And this is not all, but most. Because, yes, you can talk to some on the side alone, but put them in groups of blacks. They have absolutely no problem exhibiting their deep hatred for their own homeland. And you know, the devil doesn't have power, just so you guys know. The only way the devil can overpower you, which is the false power, by the way, is when you shake hand with the devil, when you open your door for the devil to enter. This is why, if you look at it, the Democratic Party of the United States of America, the Liberal Party, they are the most deceitful, most degenerate party you can ever come across. Anything that would destroy a human being, they would make it look attractive and say it is the law. So when people are not guided by laws of the heart, what do you think would happen? Somebody else would tell them, hey, this is the law. It doesn't matter if it's morally correct or not. But as long as someone says, oh, now this is legal, many would gravitate towards it. Oh, because they said it's the law. That's why they said salvation is of the heart. And as you know, you're supposed to be in the world and not of it. Not every garbage that is thrown at you, you have to accept. And it is sad to see in the United States of America how there is no shortage of hateful women of all stripes, of all colors, all backgrounds. They would come out and justify and fight for they call it a right, they call it medical right, for them to be able to murder unborn children. They said, my body, my right. But if you must know, this group of people are the most hypocritical group of people you would ever meet in your life. This is the same people that are telling you, you need to shut up and take the jab. But I guess you don't have the right to speak of what can go into your body, right? And then as of late, they produce a picture of Little Nasty X. It's a rapper, a black rapper. First, he came out as a gay person. Everyone is like, oh, this is cute, except me and a couple people who have sense. We didn't think that was cute. But guess who was in the forefront? Women, once again. They get angry. They fight because they want to murder men's children. And there are tons of men who have been, if these are effeminate men. They just stand there. They say they are men. They look like men to you, but are they really men? Because a man is supposed to love what is right with all their soul and might and not put anything above it. Not material, not woman, none of that. Anytime a man takes his instructions from a woman, he's going to suffer. Anytime they want to usher in evil, they remove the man. Just look at, if you don't believe me, take a look at the black community in America. Why do you think they were able to infiltrate the black community? Because they removed the man. The man is the barrier. This has been going on for generations. This is why now you're seeing people like Little Nasty X being the representation of that. Nobody counters it. If you counter it, they call you a hater. The biggest platform, I would say, urban radio platform, which is the Breakfast Club, they openly promote this degeneracy. Anyone that dare stand against it, they would bring you in and crucify you openly. And there are tons of black people that support this. So this is why I say they are done for. You have people like Puff Daddy, probably used to be your favorite rapper. You're seeing them on screen kissing with other men, making this normal for you. This is why you have to be careful of what you consume, what you expose yourself to, what you expose your children to. If you look at it, the government itself, the government has its own agenda to destroy the people. They have that agenda because this thing that they talk about, this abortion that they call their right, is back on the agenda. It's back on the agenda. And there are many nasty women running around in pink, blue, green, whatever hair color, crying, like literally crying for this to happen. It saddened me when I know a few Gambians who are married to white women, and I'm seeing their white woman posting on social media to fight for the right for them to be able to snuff out the baby. What happened to these men? So this is why I say it's from all background. Because the moment you allow yourself to go that low, it's over. Little Nasty X, his job is already done. Okay? As far as Black America goes, his job is done for that. He's conquered, so they are no longer his focus. They are no longer fighting to try to convince them to accept this lifestyle. Majority have already accepted it. They have accepted it as normal. But now you, the African, you are the next on the agenda. This is why they are trying to force you to bite that apple of buying into, quote unquote, we are black. Because see, when you identify, you see yourself as black, right? That means you would see Little Nasty X, a same person as you. So it's easier for him to infiltrate. If you look at in China, China is fighting and telling their people to boycott effeminate boy band group that they created there in China. They're fighting against that. So, Africa, if you think you have problems now, you haven't seen anything yet. If you bite this apple, if you shake hands with the devil, it's over. It's over. This is why I'm even usually suspicious of all this back to Africa movement. I think they want to kick black people out of America. Either way, either way, they are going to kick them out because guess what? They've opened the border, allowing all types of illegals to come in. They're giving them more power over blacks. Black people used to be the darling of the Democratic Party, but now they only give them lip service. You see, when they needed black people during the election, they know, hey, let's just push, let's say, racism. And they beat the apple as usual because they know the mindset. That's what they push to black people. And they also started pretending to talk to them about reparations, but they really don't mean it. When they got what they wanted, the first laws that they signed, guess who it affected? The Asian bill. They make it a hate crime to go attack people, as they should. But during the election, they were lying to black people and say, oh no, it is white supremacist, white person doing it. But clearly, you can see in the surveillance that it is black people attacking Asian people. It is black people attacking white people. But they supported that bill to go into effect. But they don't even know they are shaking hands with the devil. See, you can sit and pretend and fool yourself, but other people are not fools. If you say things, they would allow you to continue with it because they know what the truth is. They know, hey, we don't need these people to start crying before we pass this law. We'll get them to support us. They have the black caucus. This is supposed to be the black reps in the House of Congress. They're supposed to be there and saying, oh, they're fighting for black people. Go look at their agenda. What are they fighting for? Definitely not blacks. They are fighting for immigration, illegal immigrants. And when I say illegal, has nothing to do with somebody black, because they are bringing the replacement for black people in America. There's no way they would catch up with the influx of Hispanics that are coming in. They are the new voters. They are the ones that they're going to focus on. They are the ones replacing black people. So this is why I find it suspicious when all these DNA things, they say, oh, I took a DNA. Isn't it wild how everyone's DNA shows only the English-speaking countries in Africa, West Africa, the English-speaking ones? Sounds selective to me. For instance, you got plenty of people that go to Gambia. Gambia's population has never been that big. In fact, the slavery that they used to, the people they were selling into slavery, they are not even from that territory called Gambia. The reason why Gambia was popular for it because it's on the mouth of the Atlantic. They would go way in the interior, places like Mali, where they had the wars, these Bambara wars. They were selling their people. So therefore, they have to carry these people far away from their homeland so they cannot return. They would bring them to the mouth of the ocean where Gambia is, because common sense would tell you it takes months for those ships to come and take the slaves away. Why would they be capturing people that live around there? They're not going to do that. It doesn't make sense because they know the place. They go inland, far away, places like Mali, deep down, and bring these people away from their homes. So when people keep talking about this DNAs and it's only showing people telling you, oh, you're from West African countries. I never hear people say Angola. Go look at how many slaves were taken from Angola. The chiefs there, the kings, those people are well known to sell their own people. Congo, those people sell millions of their own people. But somehow no one's DNA is showing that. It's only the English speaking. So I think it's a setup. It's a setup. They want to kick blacks out of America. And when I say blacks, they're talking the ones that are saying they're indigenous. So you got to be careful what you keep saying because it's coming through. But ladies and gentlemen, before we get into that, as you guys know, I told you yesterday, it is my birthday month. And for those of you who are being great fans to the Afridamus report and contacted me about how you can contribute to the platform, you ask for my Cash App. I have it here and I'm going to post it. So give me a second here. All right. That is my Cash App for those of you that ask for it. So it's up here. But before we get into this, I am going to show you clips. I'm going to show you clips for you to see that American people, especially black people, no longer stand any chance because the government is openly not only against them, but it's against the American citizens, the white people. They've turned white people against white people. They've turned black people against whites. They've turned men against women. Now they are working on the children. And where do you think the next stop is going to be? Where do you think? Exactly. You got it right. Africa. Ever since black women shook hands with the devil and made a deal to kick their own men out, that's when all hell broke loose. They thought they were winning. But no, in fact, they were losing. As you guys know, I'm going to play for you the spokesperson for the President of the United States, Jen Psaki. I want you guys to hear what this evil woman is going to be arguing for. But before we get into that, you guys know it is tradition here at the church to make sure we play the church choir to highlight those who we would be talking about. And you guys would see these evil women. It's going to blow your mind, but don't be surprised. Mind you, this is the same people telling you, just shut up and take the job. But now they're telling you their body, their right. Fine, it's your body. But what about the babies? Who's going to protect the baby? They said, no, you need to shut up and just take it. Can you imagine how hypocritical it is? They tell us about how evil Hitler is. But Hitler, how is this different from what Hitler did? He was snuffing out, German citizens who happened to be of different persuasion. Hitler could have said, hey, look, it's none of your business. It's my people. They're, I own their body. I get to do what I want with it. But you guys know the United States government, as we know today, is behind this. But let me play the church choir and then we'll get into the clips that I put together.
President support abortion when his own Catholic faith teaches abortion is morally wrong?
Well, he believes that it's a woman's right, it's a woman's body, and it's her choice.
Why does the president, who does he believe then should look out for the unborn child?
He believes that it's up to a woman to make those decisions, and up to a woman to make those decisions with her doctor. I know you've never faced those choices, nor have you ever been pregnant, but for women out there who have faced those choices, this is an incredibly difficult thing.
People, look at the face on this woman. Look at how evil this woman is. So this is why when a lot of you were saying, oh, this guy is married to a white woman, you really don't know the American white woman, do you? If you don't know them, I do. I do. You don't live here. Or if you live here, you don't see the evil. This is what you run into. Look at that face. So therefore, this woman, if you have been biting the apple they've been trying to feed you, now the narrative has to fall apart. You have to know that these people are devils. Remember they told you a man can get pregnant, right? Isn't that what little nasty X's picture is about? But you see, they use this technique because most men are afraid of women. They cannot speak the truth to women because all you are interested in having sex with them. Or maybe you were traumatized by your mama. She put the fear in you. Oh, you say, oh, women are special. She's a queen. Now, this is what it is. It is the woman that ushers in the evil. She's trying to use shaming tactic, telling this man, oh, you don't know what it's like to be pregnant. This woman doesn't have a child. So you telling me a man cannot speak or ask questions about these things because, quote unquote, a man cannot get pregnant? But you see, they contradict themselves. This is the same people that are saying you no longer are allowed to put gender on people. You cannot say gender. They even say birthing people, telling us that men can get pregnant. They've been singing these blues forever. Anyone that deviates, they shame you, just as she attempted here. But now let's talk about the jab. You guys remember the jab? These same people, they told you, they said, shut up and just take it. Shut up and take it. You cannot challenge this. Oh, okay. So when it comes to you and what they want you to do, you don't have any right to speak about your own body. So my body, my right narrative completely is out the door. It's completely out the door. Let me read this Cash App here. Let's see. Let me see who sent this. Give me a second. All right. Supergirl, thank you for the birthday present. I appreciate that. You showing your support. So let's hear more of the type of garbage this woman is spewing. Go back and watch this woman's videos, ladies and gentlemen. This woman is standing, trying to shame the American people about getting the jab. They are trying to force it on people. Anything that is degenerate, that's what they support. Anything that's degenerate, they support it. So now it is clear. It is clear as day, unless you're blind, not to see that what is going on. The agenda is to destroy the human race. Plain and simple. What's the best way to destroy a civilization? You can read in any ancient books. is to sacrifice babies. This is what they are doing. This is why you look at it, even the Planned Parenthoods in the inner cities, they are close to black communities. You go look at, especially in New York alone, how many black babies are aborted in a year. It will shock you. How can peace come for the black to black people if they are participating in sacrificing babies? You guys have seen during this Olympics, a black athlete, a woman, she came out, she was trying to defend and fight openly with no shame to let the world know that, oh, she only did abortion, you know, she aborted her baby so she can participate in the Olympics when they disqualified her. And people, they defended that. This is child sacrifice happening right in front of our faces. Right in front of our faces. So because an evil woman like her comes out, quote unquote, because she has the White House sign behind her, because these degenerate people are saying, oh, you should do this, you can do this. Does that make it right? You have to use your common sense. Just because they're saying it doesn't make it right. You have to have high moral principles. That's why I said, when I tell people, no such thing as racism, sexism, Islamophobia. You know, living in the United States made me even, I've been questioning Islam, Muslim people, because you know, the Muslim majority, they vote for the abortionist party, which is these people. How can you say you are for God and you are not evil, but yet you give power to the people who would do all this destruction? So when you vote for these people, you are a participant in this. You are a participant in this, plain and simple, because they don't hide it. They tell you. When, you know, Obama was there, the agenda was in full swing. This is why African people, I'm telling you, do not bite this apple. Do not bite this apple. No such thing as racism. It's either good or evil. And this right here, this is what's evil. Anyone that has hatred in their heart, Satan is your daddy and you're evil. Plain and simple. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. Evil is evil. Because there's no way someone would support this if they are not evil. They are telling you and I and the rest of us to just shut up. You cannot question this. You cannot even question what would go in your body. Plain and simple. This is what they are telling you. And this is all ushered in by, quote unquote, the feminist movement. They hate men because, you see, men are the light of God. They are the sons of God. So therefore, they cannot stand men. They have to destroy men. They have to destroy men. This is why they start when men are young. You look at it in the United States, what's the divorce rate? Look it up. 2-in-1 marriage ends in divorce. And the woman 9 out of 10 times get custody. They are destroying children. They are chemically castrating children because they claim, oh, the kid said they are a girl. What if the kid said they're a dinosaur? Are you going to go do surgery on the child and put dinosaur wings on them? But you see, it's only one way street. Take, for example, when Rachel Dolezal, the white woman who hoodwinked black people and said she was black, and they accepted it. But the moment they found out she's not, it's not acceptable. There's transracial is only the other way. So it's a controlled thing, and there's no shortage of ships out there. There's women that hate their children, that hate their children. They hate men. They would do whatever it takes to destroy their own kids. And now you see a bunch of them run around. They have dogs, cats, because they have to control something. This is why Africans, you have to wake up. You have to wake up to reality. I've even seen some of your women, your African women you've brought from Africa. They've bought into the feminist ideology. Yes, the evil exists in them too. Most of them hate their fathers too. Just so you know, it is that same evil spirit. If the environment is right, oh yes, they would go for it. No doubt. And there's no shortage of them doing it. No shortage of them. Just look around you. They think they are casting a spell on the population. Everywhere you look, they say, oh, we're putting a woman in charge here. You go to the grocery stores. What do they have there? Everything woman, woman, woman. First, they said, oh, men and women are equal. What is that all about? What is that all about? But now we know, no, it's not about equality. It's about you want to impose your will to destroy God's creation, to manipulate God's creation. But there's no way any human can do that. And if we stand by and pretend like it's not existing, when the destruction comes, and it's here, none of us are safe. Anyone that doesn't stand up for the truth, we're quiet. It's not only going to stop here in the United States, because they export this thing. This is why they use entertainment. This is why I do not indulge in this degenerate music, this death music, where they preach death and destruction. And people, you listen to this, you're opening yourself to this garbage. And you don't think this is going to affect you? You don't think so? You have to protect yourself and your family. You have to protect your people. You have to stand up for what is right. Or else when the destruction comes, you won't be left behind. It will consume all of us. All of us. Oh yeah, you're sitting there, you're thinking, oh, this is just mere entertainment. But it's a message that has been sent to you. Ask yourself, you look on television, even these people, what are they promoting when it comes to black people? Anything that is the downfall of black people, that's what they promote. And I'm not saying they are not innocent either. They are fully participating in this happily because they come and tell us how great their entertainment is. But people with sense were looking at it like, nah, we're not into this. We hear the words that have been spoken. These are words of death. You don't want to sit there and listen to death and destruction. It will consume you. It will bring evil into your soul. This is why you have to protect your spirit. You have to protect your spirit. Today in the United States, there's no shortage of evil women like her. Like I said, in all stripes and colors. If you're thinking about getting married, you better forget that stuff. You better forget that, because you are setting yourself up for the kill. Man, you better pay attention to what I'm telling you here. Take heed to what I'm telling you. You are setting yourself up for destruction. If they decide to turn your little boy to a girl, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. If you even speak against it, they would put you in prison for it. I hope you guys know this. You're married. Your woman is no longer your woman. She is in cahoots with the government against you. And I know some are gonna say, oh, not all. Of course, it's never all. There are still people who are righteous. But those are hard to find. They are hard to come by. Exactly, Audrey. Look at Gabrielle Union, a popular actress, and Dwayne Wade, big old basketball player. He said his 11-year-old said he's a woman. And the woman that is promoting it, this is not even, Gabrielle is not this child's mother. How do you know this woman is not conspiring to destroy your child because she's so evil? Because when they were together, Dwayne Wade had a baby with another woman. And you know what they say? The spirit of the scorned woman. These women are Hollywood women. They want to snuff the spirit out of the children, the innocent children. Who's going to protect them? When you stand by and allow such abomination to take place, you are not safe. You are not safe. You will pay, and you will pay dearly. If you're somebody who's never think about these things that way, or you participated in it, you have to forgive yourself and ask for forgiveness from God. And understand from now on, this is not the way to go.
Believes their rights should be respected. Go ahead. I think we got to move on. I think we have to move on. You've had plenty of time today. Go ahead. Of course we're worried.
Just like your typical liberal American white woman. They want to cut you short. They want, oh, I'm moving on. But this is what happened when you worship women. What do you expect is going to happen to you when you put women above God, above yourself? Because you say that's love. That's not love. That's not love. That's self-destruction. This is why I say a real man would stand up for what is right. Even if the enemies of the truth are going to crucify you, you have to stand up for what is right. You have to be the light for the world to see that there are righteous people who would stand against wickedness, who would stand against the dark forces of evil. It's illusion. They have no power. This is why they put shiny stuff in front of you. Trinkets. When you chase these trinkets, you're selling your soul to the devil. At what cost? They want you to give them your children. Now, your kids, not only when there are men who support this murdering babies in the womb, Okay, fine. You guys remember a few minutes ago I told you about the black athlete that murdered her child inside of her? She was married, by the way. She was married. Do you think the husband had a say in that? No. If you even dare speak of it, they would say, oh, you a misogynist. Okay? What is that? It has absolutely no meaning. Oh, you mean anytime you are exhibiting, trying to, put out evil into the world, I should just step by and allow it to happen? That's the American liberal tactics. They have to shame you to allow you to destroy yourself. That's the technique. And there is no shortage of simps and beta males who would come to the forefront. They would even use this language against righteous men. There's no shortage of them. Bo, you're right. In America today, I'll tell you right now, when it comes to simps, beta males, it's in all races. It's in all races. It's worst amongst white men. Believe this or not. It's worst among white men. They worship the women too. Big time. They love their stuff more than they love God. This is why I said manhood is on life support. It's on life support in America. Why do you think all these beta males turned against Trump? Why do you think that? Because they have they have their mama spirit. They pretend and say, oh, we are lovely people. We feel sorry for people. We want to save people. No, save yourself. Save yourself. You cannot tell me somebody promoting the death of the unborn children are not wicked. Satan is their daddy. Plain and simple. People think when they talk about the devil, it's going to be, some horned, uh, creature showing up with split tongue. No, that's just your imagination. The devil could be sitting across from you, right across from you. It is a spirit. It is a spirit that takes hold of their soul. And if you're not careful, that spirit would consume you too. Some people think when you come to America, anything they say goes. Fine, it could go for them, but use your common sense. Stand on your moral ground. This is why a lot of Muslims are no longer take them serious, knowing their voting way. And when this evil group prop up Muslims, I started questioning a lot of things. Because if these people are about righteousness, they fight against Christianity, but they prop up Islam and any other degenerate things. You can go see in the US Congress for yourself, people. They have quote unquote Muslim, like what's her name? The Somali lady, Ilhan Omar, and the lady Talib. They've convinced you that, oh, it's about racism. This is why I said it doesn't exist. Go look at, is that woman promoting anything that's in your interest? If it's truly about race, Why don't you go look at that? Go see for yourself what he's talking about. But you, if you say you are the indigenous people of America, why are you supporting people that are wanting to destroy America, your nation? Ask yourself that question. These people are promoting, they're helping you burn down your own country. Look at now, the election got quiet down for a minute. For example, when they brought those BLM, which is worse than the KKK, led by, two lesbians, black lesbians. And I cannot believe people that look say they are men, they follow lesbians. What does a lesbian have for you that would help you as a man? You don't think she's a lesbian because she hates men to begin with? But some of you don't have common sense. You're blinded by what is real. But I don't blame you, especially if you're raised by women who just pamper your feelings. Just like yesterday, for example, when we had that gorilla talk here, it was women that felt offended. They project their own sensibilities and their own idea of what they think is right or wrong. They always want to control someone's speech, the way you gotta say something. This is why men, you gotta stand up. You cannot allow these people to tie your tongue. You cannot be you cannot allow them to project their sensitive side onto you. Truth is truth, wrong is wrong. Plain and simple. It's not that difficult. It is not that hard. Then you have your, people that come trying to tell you, oh, I have these degrees, blah, blah, blah. To me, your degrees are just pieces of paper. This woman have degrees, I'm pretty sure. But does this woman make sense to you? Does this woman make sense to you? But they'll tell you, oh, she got a degree. Okay. Well, ma'am, you better put that, laminate your degree and put it on your wall, because you're the only one that cares about it, because I sure don't. Just because you say you have degree, now all of a sudden you're intelligent or have logic. Anyone can go to the 13th grade, pay attention to the books, read few chapters. Within a quarter, you pass your classes, you move on to the next one. And that's how it's done. So you cannot fool me. I have been to the 13th grade myself. I know how the 13th grade works. So this is why when people say, oh, I got a degree, blah, blah. Okay. But talk to me about things that make sense. I'm not all of a sudden just going to shut my brain out because you're telling me, oh, I got a suit on, I got this degree. So I should be able to tell you what is right and wrong. This is where a lot of you are making the mistakes. This is how you are being pulled into the devil's hands. And it is sad. It is sad to see, people. You better wake up before it's too late. And I'm saying this to Africans because I'm beginning to see Africans, especially on Instagram, young Africans in Africa. I've seen Ghana, other places, even Gambia. They are sagging their pants. They're wearing these tight jeans, wearing the satchel. That's where it begins. The devil slowly creeps in. And Africa, you think you have problem now? You don't want to add this onto your problem. South Africa, they are also done for, because anything that is degenerate, they seem to embrace it as well. So, I'm glad they don't have big influence on Africa. But America does. American entertainment does. They produce movies. They make things look cool. But if you bite this, you would be done for as well. You'll be done. If you think that society is in shambles now, wait till people bring this type of life there. Start openly sacrificing babies. Openly sacrificing babies, because that's what this is. You know, for example, they made the argument also. They said, oh, to ask you for ID, they said that's racist, whatever that means, right? And they say, oh, because black people cannot get ID. Are you kidding me? So about black people, the only voters. Black people, do you see what you're being used for? It's not even your interest. Most black people don't care about those type of things, but they tell them that and they buy into it. But you notice the same group of black people, they're saying, oh, you don't know how to get ID. In New York City, they are segregating those same black people because they said, you got to get a vaccine passport. Oh, so you want to tell me, okay, let's say black people don't know how to get ID. Why don't you show them? But no. We don't want to show them how to get the ID, which is a lie, by the way. But we're going to show you how to get a vaccine passport. Do you guys see what is happening here? Do you guys see what they are doing? And they're allowing women, these women don't know what they're fighting for. They're making them feel like they are powerful. That's why I said it's an illusion. They are making you feel powerful by killing unborn children. And they call it fetus to make it sound good. But it's a human being. Let's just be real. The reason why they're bending out of shape because Texas passed a new law where the citizens can sue abortion clinics if they perform these abortions. Just regular citizens can sue them. And they have tons of attorneys volunteering pro bono to help fight against this. They have the group ACLU. These are supposed to be quote unquote civil rights groups, right? You have the Congressional Black Caucus, who are supposed to be, representing quote unquote black people, right? But that's not what they are doing. They are the ones supporting all these things. All these things. They are helping you destroy yourself. They never help you with things that you need. Ask yourself, what happened to the reparation talk? In fact, do you guys know what they just did with the reparation talk? They created a phony holiday for black people. They call it June 10th. And now they came up with another phony holiday. They call it the hip hop holiday. You guys don't believe me? Go look it up. This is what the Congressional Black quote unquote caucus are pushing when it comes to black people in America. No more reparation talk. No more. They tell you what you should be fighting for, but everything they're pushing you to fight is for your own destruction. You have a rapper named Little Boosie. They just brought him to the Breakfast Club the other day. The interview is online. A man named Charlemagne. Go see the type of things this man promotes. So who needs the KKK when you have people like Little Nasty X, people like Charlemagne, P. Diddy, and all these other black people who are in entertainment? Have you noticed? They don't promote the sensible black intellectuals. In fact, they call those people coon and sellouts. So the ones they promote, they call them intellectuals. Go see what they talk about, or the books they say they are writing. Oh, I'm writing about hip hop. So hip hop hasn't destroyed enough lives yet. You want to write about this. In fact, they just, what's the guy's name? A black guy on CNN. This older guy, they just gave him millions of dollars. Ask yourself, why are they giving this man millions of dollars? This man sat on television crying because he said Joe Biden won. He said he won. But we all know better. No need for me to get into that because I want to keep my channel. You people that are from Africa, you guys understand, when a new government, if you've ever lived in a country where a coup took place, you guys know exactly the people that did the coup. One of the first things they would do, they control the media, the airwaves. You are not allowed to speak against the present government. You guys know this. Yes, Mimi, thank you for correcting. That is Van Jones. Van Jones. So this is why Africans, I'm telling you, do not lose sight of what you know. Because you see, in Africa, we don't go by the color. We know that the people that cause us the damage, they look just like us. So the color means nothing. Evil is evil, plain and simple, and evil comes in all colors. All colors. Do not allow yourself to be blinded. Do not introduce little nasty X to your children because you will regret it. You will definitely regret it.
Of course, we're worried that other states where there is a movement and an effort to prevent women from having access to health care will copycat these steps by the Texas that happened in Texas. Now, that is one of the reasons why the president thinks it's so urgent and why he has asked his team to act as quickly as possible to see what our options are.
So you guys heard that. They call it health care. Everything, they address it not, oh, it's health care. So you don't think the people that are saying, hey, look, I just don't want somebody to just tell me that I gotta put something into my body. So they don't have the right? You cannot tell somebody that they cannot do this to your body. But allowing you to murder a child, that is healthcare? Is that what this is? Come on now. Common sense tells you that's not true.
What the president would convey to any woman who is trying to get an abortion, seek an abortion, be able to employ her constitutional right to seek health care and health care that is enshrined and allowed by federal law. What he would convey to them, I don't think he's going to be giving medical advice. That's not the role of any president. He would say, but I would say he would convey to them, I have asked my team to use every lever at their disposal to ensure you have this right, to ensure you have access, to ensure that you can have the ability to seek medical care in the way that every woman should have the right to across the country. And he has made that a priority.
Why does the president support abortion when his own Catholic faith teaches abortion is morally wrong?
Well, he believes that it's a woman's right, it's a woman's body, and it's her choice.
Why does the president, who does he believe then should look out for the unborn child?
He believes that it's up to a woman to make those decisions and up to a woman to make those decisions with her doctor. I know you've never faced those choices.
From protests to praise, intense reaction to that controversial new Texas abortion law, with the Supreme Court for now declining to block it. So what's next?
So You guys see that, right? These are women out there protesting for them to be allowed to snuff out human babies that they would call feeders, so that, to falsify it, to make it sound nice. Oh no, it's just a fetus, it's not a human being. Really? What would that fetus grow into? This is what you should be asking. It's not going to turn into a butterfly. It's a human being. But they are trying to skew your perception of reality. They're trying to skew your perception of reality. And again, they're saying, oh, it's their body, it's their choice. But while you're standing there, you know, doing something that is not even your choice. You're covering your face because the government told you to. But you want to tell us about, oh, this is the right thing to do. It blows my mind, to be honest.
This is not just about Texas, right? This fight is at our doorstep.
Both sides seeing it as a potentially existential moment for abortion access across the country, with intensifying questions over what this means for the fate of Roe versus Wade, the 1973 landmark abortion rights decision. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi now announcing she'll hold a vote soon on a bill that would enshrine the Roe protections into law. But there's virtually no path for that in the Senate, given Republican opposition, unless Democrats decide to change procedural rules, which for now appears unlikely. At the White House, a combative exchange.
Who does he believe then should look out for the unborn child?
He believes that it's up to a woman to make those decisions. I know you've never faced those choices, nor have you ever been pregnant.
President Biden pledging a whole of government push, asking the health and justice departments to look at what can be done federally. And the Supreme Court down the road could still rule on whether the law is constitutional. For their part, anti-abortion advocates seem energized, looking to use Texas as a blueprint, with Republicans in Florida and South Dakota already signaling they'll review their laws to see if they can be strengthened. The Texas law, which bans abortions after about 6 weeks and provides incentives to people who sue someone who helps provide an abortion, is crafted to try and make any legal challenge difficult by making enforcement up to private citizens instead of state officials.
We do hope that other states will model their laws after the Texas Heartbeat Act. Our legislative team has already been working with a couple other states on what we did differently.
So who could face lawsuits under that Texas law? We're talking about anybody who's seen as helping with the procedure, from the provider to somebody who pays for it, even somebody who drives the patient to a clinic, like an Uber driver. As for the Supreme Court here in Washington, the stage is set next term for a major ruling that could affect protections under Roe versus Wade, with justices reviewing a Mississippi law that bans most abortions after 15 weeks. Tom?
They have wide implications as well. All right, Hallie, thank you.
People, you won't even believe this. Like in Virginia, the governor there, he wants them to be able, so he wants women to be able to decide. Even after the child is born, they don't want the child, he calls it abortion, aborting the baby. Mind you, 9 months, the baby is born. So pretty much they can kill the child at any stage. So do you see what is happening here? So it's like, okay, they say, oh, women, we're giving you power. But when you give women power, how come they play God? They want to destroy the innocent children. Just because they are saying it's the law doesn't mean you got to kill the children. But that's what they want to do. And anyone that is watching this, I hope you wake up to the truth. You look at this government, everything they fight for, just ask yourself, ever since they came, it's wicked. Everything they fight for. They set up the Afghanistan debacle, Nobody is saying that, talking about that. It sure looks like the same thing. When Obama was there, all of a sudden, ISIS popped up out of nowhere. They showed up like there was fully loaded trucks parked in the desert with guns ready to go. Or they're like, oh, these terrorists came and took over. Just like they are doing in Afghanistan. They stopped the building of the border wall. Every single time, what they do is they come and play with your emotions. And you have emotional people. You have the Black Caucus saying, oh, we're here fighting for DACA. We're fighting for illegals. And you guys don't know that they are paying these people to fight against you? You are an American citizen. You are supposed to not allow anyone to go to tell you that it is in your best interest to just open the border for anyone and all to come in. Plain and simple. Let's see. Mimi say, Afridamos, if someone is raped and she end up getting pregnant, do you expect them to keep the child when it comes to women? Of course. Of course, they gotta keep the child. They don't get to decide that. God is the one that decides that. You don't get to play God and make those decisions. Yes, you have your body, but what about the life inside? You don't get to decide on that. So I know most women think they have this godly power. They're the ones that get to decide life and death. No, they don't get to decide that. God gets to decide that. This is where this is the biggest problem the United States is running into today. This is the biggest problem. And they like to create these scenarios. How many women truly get raped and need the abortion services? We just gotta be honest. How many? How come we don't talk about the voluntary ones, which are in the high thousands? But it's always an argument. Oh, what if a woman gets raped? How often do that happen? And in fact, this rape thing is overconflated, okay? Because you do realize more little boys are raped by women than they make you believe. Just go look at the numbers. Even when I worked in prison, it's a men's prison. Do you know how many times I've seen female officers rape, inmates? You can look this up. Some of them have even gotten locked up, but they only got a misdemeanor. They didn't put it in the news. You go look in the female prison even. More females are raped in the female prison by their fellow, prisoners. But they want to give you this false notion that, oh, women are getting raped. That is not the reality. That is not the reality. People must know what the reality is. I know the quote unquote conscious community say, oh, the Black woman is God. But you guys saw what young Pharaoh did. I guess the Black woman is no longer God. Mimi, yeah, that's fine. You don't have to put, keep, you can put the child in a daycare. Or, put the child up for adoption. Plain and simple. But you don't get to decide. You don't get to decide if you can take someone's life or not. And Africans, I hope you wake up to reality. Because a lot of you, your African women, they are biting this feminist agenda. I've seen them out here. I've seen some of them, how they've taken some of these men, they drag them through the mud, take them to the American court system to destroy them. It is happening. And Do you think it's gonna stop here? No. It is going to be coming on the continent, because I heard already places like Ghana, there is already some people, you see them online pushing to say Ghana should allow same-sex marriage. Imagine, imagine that in Ghana. Next thing you know, it's going to spread like wildfire across that coast. That's where it starts. And then next thing you know, you see little nasty exes walking around talking about they're pregnant. But you got this Jen Psaki lady telling us, before men can get pregnant, but when a man questions you on what agenda you want to promote, now men cannot speak on this because they cannot get pregnant. Which one is it? Which one is it? Seriously. Which one is it? So you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful what you're consuming, not only in food, but what you take in. It affects your thinking. And slowly, before you know it, they normalize it. Because look at this woman. She can't even say this with straight face. There's no way she believes in these things. There's no way. But she knows there's lots of angry feminists out here in America who have no problem destroying children because they hate men. So therefore, the people that they call the powers to be, this is what they thrive off of. This is what they thrive off of. I hope you realize this is just the beginning of the end. And if you don't wake up to it, it will be too late. Just like it's getting too late for most communities in America, definitely for the Black community. Because if they can no longer, it's like they can't even save their children from people like Little Nasty X, from brainwashing them, from the P. Diddy's of the world, from all these rappers. Last time there was a rapper. The rapper, they said they quote unquote, they canceled him. And do you guys know why they said they canceled this man? You know why? Because he spoke truth. But just like a beta simp that cannot think for himself, I guess they pulled him to the side. They're like, hey, you gotta come and apologize, and said it was a mistake, blah, blah, blah. Who apologizes for speaking the truth? This is how they get you. The moment you speak the truth and then you apologize for it, they got you. Because they know you don't believe in it. They are doing it because of the money that is possibly involved in this. Because see, when you put anything above you and the material, anything you're afraid of losing, that's what they use against you. And you're eventually going to lose it anyways. So why don't you stand up for what you believe in? Why don't you stand up for what is right? You see? It's a shame. Let's see here. Anastasia said, I have noticed that everyone who is for abortion has already been born. But on the other hand, if men could get pregnant, abortion would be sacrament. We don't know that because men do not get pregnant. This is the Eve effect, people. You guys have to know this started in the garden. Ever since Eve listened to the devil, to Satan, Satan became her God. And when Adam listened to Eve, look at what happened to Adam. He had to face the wrath of God. If you don't understand what that means, look around you. It's playing out every day. You see grown men coming on the internet, literally crying. They're crying. This is what I've always been telling men. Be careful. Stop telling women your problem, because they will use it against you. They will use it against you. It is the style of the devil. Okay? It is the style of the devil. Because if you look at it, right? You've got like little Boosie, the example I gave. Do you guys know what they're using against him? They say, oh, little Boosie, you shut up. You can't talk about this. What about the destruction you guys did? The destruction you guys did. Oh, you were selling crack in the neighborhood. You see? So wait a minute. You said Boosie used to sell crack, but he no longer sells crack. He's not part of that. He's not part of that. So now you want to exile Boosie because you said Boosie used to sell crack. Total devilish. So he cannot speak the truth now, right? Because he said he used to sell crack. But I bet you if he's wearing booty shorts here, all of a sudden you guys would promote him. You're not gonna say, oh, Boosie, Boosie, look at Boosie. Boosie, you cannot participate in the booty short action because you used to be a crack dealer. That's not what they're going to say. So you're being deceived. Okay? You're being deceived. It's a shame. And most of you, there are people who buy into this. They're like, oh yeah, Boosie should shut up. Boosie should shut up because, oh, Boosie used to sell crack. You see the word used to? But they want to play God and decide that they are the ones that can forgive or not forgive. They do not have the power. No human being has the power to forgive or not forgive. That's in the hands of God. That's why they say salvation is of the heart. You don't need somebody else to come and decide for you, to tell you that, oh, you should feel guilty because you used to sell crack. Now you cannot speak the truth. God will decide for Boosie. But for now, when the man speaks the truth, we have to accept it. We have to accept it. But they had to bring him in and use shaming tactics. And people just care about entertainment. Oh, my body, my right. But the government want to pump poison in your body. They are telling you, you do not have the right to decide what goes in your body. But then they turn around and say, oh, you can kill a baby. It's nobody's business. Just shut up. It's my body, my right. What kind of world is this? Look, if I weren't even present here in the United States, I would have thought this is made up. There's no way I would have believed it. But this is happening. This same government you see is the same government that they admitted to it, that went and dropped crack in black neighborhoods, encourage blacks to destroy themselves. And I'm not saying, the black people were not wrong for dabbling in it. But imagine that your own citizens, quote unquote, you drop poison off for them. What makes you think that you could trust those same people? What makes you think you can vote for those same people? I know why. Because they have illogical females in charge of men. They are raising little boys to supposedly be men. But you see a lot of these women, look at the way they socialize the little boys. They would dress them in girl stuff. I used to see these about 10, 15 years ago. And I remember having this thinking. I said, the next coming decade is going to be tough for America. Because you see a lot of, you know, kids having kids, 15-year-olds. This is why you run around, you see kids named Lexus, Little Bobo, I mean, crazy name, Watermelon Chianti, all these names, because they don't have the understanding. I mean, because a 15-year-old doesn't have the experience to know, look, at least I got to give my son a name that would be employable. But you calling your kid, all those weird names. Now, that kid didn't even stand a chance. And you have white women who say, oh, they adopt these African kids. This is why African governments have to put their foot down. And they bring the kid, turn them into little girls. We're seeing this, like Audrey just said here. There's a Charlize Theron, a South African white woman. She is as evil comes, turning that little boy into a girl. And nobody can say anything. If you say it, you are a hater. People, this is why all this stuff, to me, it doesn't surprise me when people say, oh, Afridamus, you are being a hater. Because now all the men that speak the truth are considered the haters. Hey, if the things I'm saying, you calling me a hater for that, guess what? I am a hater then. I am a hater, a proud hater. Because I'm not going to delude myself and follow your degeneracy. This is why those entertainers and all that, people, they call them the celebrities, they worship them. I have never been into that. Like I said, no human is special, including myself. No human is special. Because guess what? We are all, any life that was born is going to die one day. You came here with nothing and you're going to leave with nothing. What is the purpose of selling your soul to the devil? What is the purpose of it? There is none. They give you the illusion that, oh, it's forever. You got the power. But you don't have the power. You don't have the power. And all these evil women, oh, they are going to pay for this. But you that is not speaking, you are also going to pay for it. Plain and simple. And to be honest with you, when it comes to black men in America, the ones that are leaving, going to other places looking for women, look, I don't blame them. You don't think they see what is going on? I have listened to some of them talk, and what they are saying make absolute sense because I'm seeing what they are seeing. They have to go someplace else for them to start a new life. Because when they go there and see that in America, they've lost complete control of the situation. The system is so far gone, there's nothing they could do about it. So the ones that are smart are leaving. They are going elsewhere. But before you go anywhere, you have to get your spirit right. Because guess what? When you don't get your spirit right, you're going to go elsewhere and replicate that same thing. This is why you see like people move from California. They say, oh, I left California because of the degeneracy. And then they go to other place, Texas, wherever. They vote in people again that are preaching this degeneracy. Ladies and gentlemen, just like a couple days ago, I was having this discussion with a white person, a couple of them, and apparently I said some things, and these guys, they are very touchy beta males, and they want to pretend, to tell me, oh, there's racism. What about George Floyd? I said, what about him? You know? They're like, well, the cop killed him because he's black. I said, look, that's not true. I said, that is absolutely not true. I said, this is the thing, man. Why are you here pretending that you are standing up for black people's right? And I asked him, what is racism? He defined it. I said, you do realize black people, majority, they say all white people are racist. I said, are you racist? No, no. He started getting upset. I said, sir, don't get mad at me. I'm just telling you what I heard. I said, so you are able to tell us about all these other white racist people, but somehow you are not racist? Is that what you want me to believe? I said, you're setting black people up. I said, because why would you pull George Floyd out of the hat? I said, he's an unemployed drug addict. Not that I'm supporting what happened to him, but why do you want to associate? Anytime you want to talk about black people, you want to always pull out the criminals for black people. How come? But I don't blame them, because other black people, that's what they like to associate themselves to. I remember around the early 2000s, all these things they are showing us, when there was a lot of righteous black people, they would have told you straight. They would be like, they would say, come on. There's no way they would support, those type of behavior. You go out there, you commit crimes, bad things happen. Black people, the church, they would say, hey, that boy knew what he was doing. But now the church itself is what is promoting all this degeneracy. That's why the men left the church. Now they have female pastors. Really, who's going to sit and listen to a female pastor? It's in your own book. The book that she's reading says a woman cannot lead men, a woman cannot be pastor. So right then and there is false church. The synagogue of Satan. That's what you're attending. If you're going to a church that is led by a woman, you're in the synagogue of Satan. I'm not saying this. The book said it. I went and read your own book that you say you're following. But do you think those churches are about the righteousness? No, people are showing up to church. Some of them, their wigs are still halfway. They came from the club the night before. They're all hoochied up. You got the whole choir is gay. The pastor is the only straight one. He's over there sleeping with all the women. People, don't tell me you're not hearing about these things. This is what is going on. This is what is going on around America. So you can't even trust that anymore. And the men, to their credit, they don't attend anymore. They don't even attend anymore. They ran away, because the pastors have been nothing but panderers to the women, and the women are like, oh my God, Pastor KK is such a nice pastor. He comes in, they pass the plate. You're buying the Cadillac trucks for the pastor. You're paying for the gas and all that. The church is now the new club. It's now the new club. The women that have been out, the club, they've outaged the club. they move to the church. And still some of them go to the church. You're seeing this happening. Look, I'm just somebody who's observing these things. They've turned everything into entertainment. They've turned Jesus into a simp, a beta male. Anyone that wants to be beta, they're like, oh, this is what Jesus would have done. Oh, Jesus said, this and that. You're like, man, are you kidding me? Look, I don't know this guy named Jesus, but if they put that man on the cross, I can assure you he wasn't saying some sweet things. He was spitting facts. And this pissed off some beta males. They are like, hey, we can't allow this to happen. Look, just look at it. Look, I'm not Jesus, okay? And I point out things that are happening. Some people, if they can crucify me, they would crucify me. It's the truth. They would crucify me. I mean, just look at it. Some of them do it right here on the internet. But you see, the truth is powerful. They cannot stay away from it. Once they hear it once, that's the thing. When you hear it, you cannot unheard what you heard. This is why do you guys think Johanna here keeps coming back? He cannot help it. He cannot help it. He has to keep coming back to hear more and more of it. He knows it's the truth, but he can't help himself. And Johanna, your statement, yes, I stand by that. And I'm not the one saying it. I'm just the messenger. I'm just conveying what is written. Because you see, I'm a curious person. I don't just sit around, twirling my fingers, all caught up in my imagination. No. I pay attention to what is going on. Okay? I go around, I look at what is going on. I don't just sit, watching television, allowing other people to tell me what's going on. No. You read the books. Because, they said, I got a degree in Bible studies. Now I'm going to be preaching to the people. You're like, okay, woman, you want to preach this book to me, but the own book you're preaching to me, you want to be the pastor, but the book say you can't be no pastor. They're like, oh, that is sexist. Well, I guess God is sexist. Because you cannot come trying to convince me about God and then, trying to change God's own word. It doesn't work that way. Oh, their favorite thing is, oh, this is different times. No, it's not different times. Trust me, this sun that you see, it's been the same sun for however long we've been on earth. And it will be the same. None of us can change it. Time is still the same. Morning, day, night, all happens in the same sequence. The seasons happen in the same sequence. What do you mean times have changed? No, you have changed. You want to play God. You want to change nature. But you cannot change nature. Plain and simple. That's what it's all about. This is why, you want to make yourself feel good to murder the babies. This is why you want to do that. Now, they have homosexual churches too. All over. So up is down, down is up. That's what's happening in America, whether you know it or not. People are literally telling you that little children can decide, like tell you, oh, they can make decisions. Okay, why don't we just allow kids to drive? So you, as a parent, the parents don't know better, right? The kid knows better. If this kid knows so much, why doesn't this kid pay bills? So you're going to have someone under your roof that you're taking care of. This person cannot even wash their own ass if you don't do it for them. Okay? But yet they are telling you that this person, little person, can decide if they're a boy or a girl. I mean, like, do you know how many kids change their minds all the time? All the time. This is normal. You can take that serious. You can take that serious. This is, yeah, DMF, you're right. You know, like even the he, she, they, all that pronoun stuff. One time I was in, in this little meeting, and they go around the table. Like when you say your name, they're like, oh, you have to say your pronoun. So all these silly people are sitting there. They would say their name. They're like, he, she, they. I go by that. Like they got to me. I just said my name, and I said, this is my name, and I sat there. And they all got quiet. They were waiting. They're like, one guy goes like that. I said, are you confused by what you're seeing? I said, I'm not playing into this. They're like, oh, that's insensitive. I said, no. What's insensitive is you trying to make me say things that I don't want to say. I said, don't you think that's controlling? So this is why people, you have to speak up. Because when you don't speak up, they are going to put words in your mouth. How come you are not allowed to impose your will on them? How come? You, you're not allowed to, but they get to impose their will on you. And just like a fool, people just go along. They just go along. This is why yesterday I did, because I don't roll like that. Like just because you, the individual, you think, oh, I'm offended by this, so I have to change my speech pattern. Not gonna happen. As long as I'm not being disrespectful, I'm not calling somebody out of their name, which I don't do. I'm not gonna change my speech pattern. Oh, we want you to say it this way. Why? You have complete control of your own mind. You can interpret things the way you want to. But if you're expecting me to say the things, oh, the way you want it, it's not going to happen. Go look on the CDC guideline thing. Now some of they said things how you say it. So now you cannot call a convict person who was, what did they say, incarcerated or whatever. Look, that's too long for me. I don't have time for that. Said you can say, oh, they have felony. If it's not a felony, then what is it? If you guys want me to say it the way you want to, change it in your own laws. But you cannot just come and start telling me, oh, you gotta say it this way. I have my own ideas how I want things to be said, but I'm not going to be imposing my will on people. But evil spirit don't know that, because evil wants your soul. They want to take over your soul, but they cannot take it unless you give it up. And I hope those of you that are supporting these things, take kick back and think for yourself if this is right. Ask yourself if what these women are doing is right. This is evil. This is human sacrifice. This is what is happening. Because now if they don't do it, kill the baby in the body, they kill the soul of the child, especially little boys. They turn them into little girls. This is what is going on. I've always wanted a little girl. Really? Is this how life works? But I've always known, in America especially, if you really want to see the power of Satan, come to the United States. Come to the United States. You'll see for yourself. You know, you watch CNN, MSNBC, everything they promote is against what is natural. It's against what's natural. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have another show later. I'm interviewing someone that, was in the Gambia in the summer. I scheduled it Friday, but there was a little bit of miscommunication there. But we fixed it, and the interview would come later on. So I'm gonna stop here. I hope you can join me for that next session, so we can continue the conversation. And for those of you, that are about what is right, and you're about doing right, continue doing that. Those who have wicked heart, wicked soul, I hope this message would help you cleanse your heart. I hope you would make sure you rid yourself of the hatred and resentment you have towards your parents and stuff. Because you see, in this world, people, all of us, anyone, people are born in messed up families. Yeah, because when you're born, you got people, you meet these people, aka your parents, they impose their will on you. And they force you to do things that you don't want to do. And many of you become traumatized, and you develop resentment and anger. And that anger manifests itself in several different ways. It doesn't just stop at the time you're a child, but you, the individual, you know what it is. If you know what is best for you, of course, hey, you don't have to take my word for it. But deep down, I know everyone knows the truth. You have the resentment, but when you forgive, you don't have to expect any forgiveness back. You don't have to associate with the people. But when you forgive, especially the mamas, oh, they're going to lose it. They're going to lose it. Oh, what you got to forgive me for? But you just have to do it. You will be free. You will find peace. And you'll be able to stand up for what is right. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and thank you for coming. I hope to see you in the next session.